Hi, it's Barry Z from The Barry Z Show at the Metropolitan Room, or I should say the Met, talking to Joel Vig. Tell us your involvement with Tammy Grimes' the show.
Well, actually, I had the great pleasure of directing Tammy Grimes in this evening. And earlier this last year, Tammy Grimes and I were at the Tennessee Williams Festival, and I directed a stage reading of a play called The Strangest Kind of Romance. And at that time, I said to her, Tammy, you really have to put together a nightclub act and come back to the cabaret stage. And she said, I think you may be right. I think I'll think about it.
Oh, that is such good news. Oh, I can't tell you what news that is to me.
We started talking about it, and we started putting things together, and we just, this is our third night, and they just asked us to extend one more night. We're coming back a week from tonight on Thursday, the 19th of April at 8 p.m. And
bring this to Broadway where it belongs.
Oh, I think that sounds great. If Elaine Stritch can do it, Tammy Grimes can do it.
Tell me about the show and the songs.
Well, we sort of started putting together different pieces because I had been on a ship with the Theater Guild, and Tammy did a show a few years ago while we sailed up the Amazon. And her musical director, who was her husband, Richard Bell, was a wonderful, eclectic. He played classical music and pop and rock and roll, and he played for Janis Joplin and Judy Collins. And so he had this wide range of songs that Tammy sang, and several of them are in this evening tonight. But the one thing I said to Tammy is, you really have to, for your fans' sake, do some of the numbers you introduced in New York. It's crazy not to do High Spirits.
It's very simple. No angel choir. Stereo and many open fires. Caruso sings there. Salome swings there in my home sweet heaven. My house is modest. It's by Bernini. And I've a feeling that the ceiling's by Cellini. The brothers Adam both call me madam in my home sweet heaven.
Break all the songs down for me from beginning to end.
Well, let's see. The first song starts out from one of her great albums called Miss Tammy Grimes, and she sings Rose of Washington Square.
She said, I'm Rose of Washington Square. I'm withering there in basement air. I'm fading pose with or without my clothes. They say my Roman nose, it seems to please artistic people.
And she does her own version of Ring Them Bells, like Nobody's Business.
Gather around, I got a story to tell about a Manhattan lady that I know very well. She lives at 5 Riverside, her name is Shirley DeVoe, and she traveled around the world to find the guy next door. Well, there was trouble inside apartment 29E, cause Shirley's mother and father were upset as can be. They said, we hate to complain, dear, we don't like to grouse, but you're nearly 32, you should get out of the house. You gotta ring them bells, you gotta ring them bells, you gotta make them sing and really ring them bells. It's such a happy thing to hear them ting-a-ling. You gotta ring them bells.
A song by Oscar Brown Jr. called The Snake that is an incredible jazz riff.
On her way to work one morning down the path alongside the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. She said, poor thing, I'll take you in and I'll take care of you. Take me in, tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, tender woman, sighed the snake.
And Jimmy Buffett song called He Went to Paris.
He went to Paris looking for answers to questions that bothered him so. He was impressive, young and aggressive, changing the world on his own. But the soft summer breezes, the French wines and cheeses, put his ambitions at bay. Summers and winters scattered like splinters, and 5 or 6 years slipped away.
It's Barry Z from The Barry Z Show, coming to you live from the office of astrologer Bob Marks, right?
Right.
Tell me what an astrologer is. Most people don't know.
We read horoscopes. A horoscope is simply the position of the planets arranged around the Earth, and we put them on a piece of paper, see what they're doing, and that correlates with events here in on Earth.
Can you look through your window and see the planets lined
This is
up?
New York City. We can't see anything in the sky. Everything is smogged out. No, I just stick to computerized charts. One thinks that the snowstorm is Armageddon. It's not. Don't worry about it. The next thing is that retrograde Mercury is going to be ending, thank goodness, on January 25th. However, the effect of the retrograde Mercury can last after that. Even after the Mercury turns forward, it's moving very slowly, and all the things that could not get started during the retrograde Mercury try to get started all at once. So for about a week after January 25th, things are still going to be very hectic, but at least now we'll be able to begin major projects. There's more. There's this planet alignment. All of the visible planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, are within one corner of the sky, and it's possible if you stay up late, if you stay up till like 3 in the morning, you'll be able to see all of them at once. Now, what does this do? It intensifies things. When the planets are hanging out in one portion of the sky, it energizes that portion. Now, it depends on your individual chart. Where does this hit in your chart? That's the area of your life that's going to be most intensified. So you have to check your own horoscope out and see exactly where this pileup of planets is going to be hitting you. And by the way, I do horoscopes. If you go to my website, bobmarksastrologer.com, you can order a chart and you can see exactly where this is going to be hitting in your personal life. Now, one of those planets is Mars, and Mars is in Scorpio. It's very, very strong in Scorpio. I always tell this story. Let's say somebody with Mars in Scorpio was elected president of the United States. All of a sudden, there's an alien attack from outer space. What's the Mars and Scorpio president going to do? Right away, they're going to reach for the thermonuclear weapons. Now, let's say somebody else with Mars and Scorpio is sitting there, minding their own business, and a fly is buzzing around their head, annoying them. Right away, they're going to reach for the thermonuclear weapons. You see, Mars and Scorpio, the anger is on or it's off, nothing in between. People who are born with Mars and Scorpio have to really learn to choose their battles, because for them, there is no small battle. It's all or nothing. What does this do for the world? It means any battles in the world are going to intensify as well. Mars in Scorpio is a warrior position, and warriors don't just sit there. This is part of the planet alignment. So the Mars in Scorpio is going to just be intensifying that even more. And of course, the primaries are coming up. And the Mars in Scorpio, watch the candidates get really savage with each other. Oh boy. It's going to be better than any reality TV show. And may the stars be with you.
Can you help extend someone's life?
Well, if you make a person wealthier, if you get them into a better job, you make them happier, you get them into a better relationship, but yes.
It's amazing. How do you feel about this power?
What power? It's how does a doctor feel about power? You know, the power they have to heal. You know, that's what they do. This is what I do.
Are you afraid to give wrong advice?
I don't. I try not to give wrong advice. Remember, astrology is probabilities. You tell a person that something is more likely to happen at a certain time, or less likely to happen. If somebody is looking for a new job, you can tell them not on this day, on another day.
But that's scary to have that kind of power.
It's not scary.
Why not?
It's like, do you walk around with your eyes closed because you're scared of what you can see?
No.
Okay, that answers your question.
Let's talk about your clients, okay? You have a lot of celebrity clients, right?
I don't talk about my clients.
Why not?
It's confidential information.
You have a lot of celebrities, right?
I have some celebrities, yes.
Okay, and you have a lot of just run-of-the-mill people too, like me.
Yeah, yes, I have all sorts of clients.
Okay.
But I do not talk about them. I do not give out their names. I do not tell anything else about their charts or anything that would divulge their identities. It's confidential information.
Okay, but you're going to definitely tell them if you see something bad or something good coming, or try to help them.
Of course.
You know, attain success, monetary means, careers, love relationships, health.
Yes. Hello, I'm Bob Marks, and this program is about astrology. Now, the presidential elections are coming up next year, 2016, and already one of the candidates is making a very big splash, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a Gemini sun sign, and Gemini likes to talk. But you also have to look at the rising sign. That's the sign that was rising in the eastern horizon when you were born. And Donald Trump's rising sign is Leo, the sign of show business, the sign that likes to make a big splash and get plenty of attention. And, well, he's certainly getting plenty of attention. Something else in his horoscope, too. The moon shows your emotions, your feelings. His moon is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sign that has a channel that goes from the brain to the mouth, and whatever they think they say, it comes right out. And that's exactly what's been happening to Donald Trump. No, he doesn't use a teleprompter. He doesn't need one. Everything he says is perfect to begin with. Sagittarius also is a sign of foreigners, foreign places, people at a great distance. And of course, he became famous lately for saying things about Mexico and Mexican immigrants. No, all Mexicans are not rapists and thieves. As a matter of fact, the vast majority, just like the vast majority of any group, are decent, hardworking people. But if you say that, it doesn't make a big splash. Well, Donald Trump may be going great guns now, but in September, on the 17th, the planet Saturn is going to go into the sign of Sagittarius. Saturn, the planet of restrictions. Saturn, Lord Karma, the planet of as he sows, so shall he reap. It's going to give him the results of his actions, and it will slowly strangle his presidential ambitions. The same thing happened to Richard Nixon in 1972 to 1974. As a matter of fact, back then in January of 74, I made a prediction that he would be out of office by September. I was off by 1 month. The planet Saturn was hitting Richard Nixon then, and it will be hitting Donald Trump after September the 17th. Now, how about Hillary? Poor Hillary. We're not 100% certain of the time of her birth. We don't know if it's AM or PM. Well, both charts shows that she's going to have a rough time. Now, when the planet Saturn goes into the sign of Sagittarius, it hits Donald Trump very badly. It will also hit Hillary. She is born with the planet Jupiter, the planet of good luck and expansion, right at the beginning of Sagittarius. So as soon as the planet Saturn crosses over, it's going to hit her Jupiter, and it's going to reduce her good luck. that's when things will start coming apart for her. It's going to be after September, and the Saturn will be staying there in the neighborhood of her Jupiter for quite a while. Well, those are two people who one is definitely not going to make it, and the other will probably not make it. But we have plenty of other candidates there. You know, looking at the news programs these days with the presidential candidates, you don't know if you've tuned into the news or you've tuned into a Comedy Central show. It's just one laugh riot after another until we figure out that, wait a minute, one of these idiots is going to be governing us in a couple of years. Now, you have to look at the horoscope of the United States too. The United States has the sun in the sign of Cancer. And right opposite that sun right now is the planet Pluto. Now, why is an opposition bad? Well, if you have something opposite your sun, it's something coming to you from other people. And in this case, it's Pluto, the planet that rips everything apart. So this country has a rough time of it. At any rate, if you look at your horoscope, people can make choices the way a nation can't.
This is the year of the presidential election. Tell me about the candidates, okay? You've done research on them or try to get some background history of them and make predictions about their lives and their careers, okay? So who's going to win the election?
A Democrat.
Hillary Clinton.
There's a tiny town in northern New Hampshire called Dixville Notch. And in 1960, the residents there got together and started a tradition. They would meet at midnight on election day, and they would all cast their votes at once. I mean, there's only about a dozen people in town who could vote. And they count the votes, and they report them right away, so they could be the first ones to report the results on election day. Now, astrologically, that means that's the beginning of the presidential election.
It sounds like Groundhog Day.
And by looking at the chart for midnight, Dixville Notch on election day for presidential elections, you can predict which party is going to win. Now, you can't always say which person. You see,
Who can predict?
It shows
these local townspeople.
I predicted if you look at the charts ever since 1960, it shows either that the party in power stays in power, or that it's thrown out and a new party takes over. And it's been consistent since 1960. And this time around, it shows that the party in power will not change. Not in 2016.
Yes.
Not in 2020. So there's a Democrat in power for the next 8 years.
And it's going to be Hillary Clinton.
And then in 2024, there will be a sudden and dramatic change. Something unexpected.
Oh, so you knocked out, just now by telling me that, knocked out Donald Trump, right?
They're all knocked out.
Who else? Bernie Sanders.
No. Bernie Sanders is. I said a Democrat would win. I didn't say which Democrat. But there's only.
Well, I hope it's Hillary Clinton, because she's going to set a new precedent for the presidency.
Well,
and she has Bill behind her, pardon the expression.
Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is his son is born. He was born with a sun in the middle of Virgo. Right now, the planet Saturn is around 90 degrees. That's going to cut him off. He's going to peak, and then he will decline.
So it's Hillary then?
Yes, by a process of elimination.
I hope so.
It's not so much that her chart is strong. It's that everybody around her is weaker. And you have to look at it. You have to look at it that way. You can't just look at somebody's chart and say, "Oh, it's terrible. They're not going to get elected," because the person they're running against could be worse.
So we're talking about all the others dropping off. Everyone from Trump to Sanders to who else? Cruz.
First of all, Donald Trump and Marco Rubio are both Geminis. The planet Saturn is in the sign of Sagittarius, which is opposite. Saturn is slowly strangling Donald Trump. Now, he has a chance for a comeback after March, But between now and the middle of to the end of March, when Saturn turns retrograde, Saturn is moving against him. So he's going to have a tougher time. He may have it a little bit easier after March, but February and March are critical months. If he doesn't make it then, he's going to be out. So a Democrat will get elected because the election chart for Dixville Knott's from midnight on election day is not afflicted. And that means the party in power stays in power.
So it'll be the Democrats.
Yeah.
And it'll be Hillary Clinton.
Well, Bernie Sanders is a Virgo, and the Saturn is afflicting him too. So again, he's peaking now. The Saturn is going to pull him down later. Let's see about the others. You know, as far as this country goes, this country has some very difficult transits. The planet Pluto, the planet of extremes, is opposite the sun in the United States horoscope. And the United States horoscope is set for July 4th, 1776. Pluto opposite the sun means the country is polarized. Well, this country is really polarized now. They say that Democrats and Republicans are not even talking to each other.
And look who's running. You're talking about Christie, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking about Trump. We're talking about Sanders. We're talking about who else? Cruz?
Well, that's they're all going to be. Most of them are going to be dropping by the wayside. The main thing is a Democrat is going to get elected the next two times, 2016 and 2020. Now, I was looking for a method a more accurate method to predict what happens to a country. So I started doing birthday charts for the United States every 4th of July. But a year for a person is very important. But for a country, what's 1 year? Nothing. So I looked for a longer cycle. And I looked at the Saturn return cycles. That's every 29 years. And I did every Saturn return for the United States. The worst chart was the chart for 1834. It lasted till 1864, and a horrible chart. And we had two wars, the Mexican War and the Civil War. Horrible chart. Now, the chart for 2011 is just as bad. I don't know that it will get us into a war, but that's a distinct possibility. And it will be a very draining time for the United States. This chart lasts until 2040. Don't worry, folks. The United States was founded with the Jupiter in the sun sign, so we've always gotten by on luck, and that will tend to carry us through. And besides that, you cannot change the horoscope of a country, but you could change your individual horoscopes by traveling on your birthday.
Won't this be the most incredible election ever to finally put into the office of the president a female? Have a female president, okay, who is setting a precedent for this office.
Yes, that will be another barrier down, and it will be another advance for the country. But remember, no matter who gets elected, they do have to do a good job.
But the advantage that this woman has is the fact that her husband was president of the United States.
Yes, that's right. They're a team. Bill Clinton was a master. I mean, astrology aside for the moment, while Newt Gingrich was trying to have him impeached, he was still meeting with Newt Gingrich, and they were making deals about how best to run the country.
So this will be a good thing for the United States of America, right?
It's the United States of America, as I said, is going to have a bumpy time. It's, Dickens again. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. That's where we are. That's where we're heading.
What will her presidency be like?
I can't say specifically about her presidency, but I can say certain things about what's coming up for the United States.
Is there a possibility of Michael Bloomberg coming out of the woodwork somewhere and becoming president?
No, not in this universe.
What will the country be like if Hillary Clinton gets elected?
Well, no matter who gets elected president, this country is in for a bumpy road for the next couple of decades. For one thing, that's deal with Iran. Forget it. They're on their way to getting a bomb, and that's going to make things pretty dicey. Around 2026, the horoscope shows that there's going to be trouble coming from Iran. That's a big thing. There are crises coming at us from many corners. The planets Uranus and Pluto did this. They made, in astrology, when planets make a 90-degree angle with each other from the standpoint of the Earth, that's stressful. And when Uranus and Pluto do that, it turns everything upside down. They did that in the 1930s. And during that time, Hitler took power in Germany, Japan invaded China, and Mussolini invaded Ethiopia. And catastrophic as those things were, they only set the stage for World War II. Well, we just had 7 90-degree angles, 7 squares between Uranus and Pluto between 2011, and the last one was March 16th, 2015. And it's not just that it makes for a time of crisis, it gets the ball rolling. There's going to be continued crises because of those squares. So the 2020s are going to be a rather difficult time for the whole world, a time of upheavals. Of course, that's for the world itself. But individual people, of course, can always maneuver. You know, you take care of your own horoscope, you take care of your own life, and you can get through any difficulties that may happen to the world.
What will Hillary Clinton's win in the election do for America?
Well, we'll finally have a woman elected president of the United States, so another barrier will have fallen.
Yes, good. And how do you think she'll do as president? Do you know?
Let her get elected first, and then we'll take a look specifically at her horoscope and see what's going on. I haven't looked that far ahead yet.
What do you think about the people who are running in the same election with her? Are they jerks? Are they just doing it because they want to get press out of this, like a Trump?
Oh, most of them are just, it's
a joke.
It's really sad. It's really sad. It's like a big cosmic joke. Trump is turning the whole thing into a reality show. It's very sad.
What do you think about the candidates that are running in this election?
They're all a bunch of clowns and misfits, and this country is in trouble. And that shows in the country's horoscope too. We're having basically at least a decade of trouble here, if not longer.
What does it say about the country? Are we all falling apart here?
The country is in a time of transformation. That's what the Uranus and Pluto have shown. These are planets of change, and change doesn't come easily. The old way of doing things no longer applies, and things are rearranging. And that's there's going to be a lot more crisis in the world.
Like what?
Everything from financial crises to political crises to wars, revolutions around the world. That's going to continue. That's not going to change. There is no stable aspect until 2040. After that, we get back on track. But look at it this way: it's an exciting time to be alive.
And if Hillary wins, it'll be an advancement for America, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll be an advancement. Finally, a woman taking the highest office in the land. Yes. Let's talk about Donald Trump. Now, I did Donald Trump's horoscope a while ago, and I mentioned that around this time he would be saying something really stupid that would sabotage his campaign, and sure enough, it happened. And one of the reasons it did was because this T-cross hits Donald Trump's horoscope. It hit his Jupiter. What's Jupiter? Jupiter is expansion. And with Jupiter, sometimes we overexpand. We know no bounds. We think we can do no wrong. And Donald Trump, with his Leo rising, apparently thinks he could do no wrong. And what is the negative side of Leo? The negative side of Leo is that they want attention no matter what. Well, he's got attention no matter what. And he managed in one statement to go against the entire history of the United States. This has always been a country where people can come to because of religious persecution. It's a country where you can have any religion or no religion, and we don't care. You know, that's your business. Apparently, Donald Trump wants to change that now. Well, again, it's the planet Saturn that's doing it for Donald Trump. The planet Saturn is now opposite his sun sign. His sun is Gemini, and his moon is Sagittarius. Now, Gemini is very good with words, but Sagittarius has a channel that goes from the brain to the mouth, and whatever they think tends to come right out. And Donald Trump's moon seems to be predominating at this time. The planet Saturn is going through Sagittarius, and it's getting closer and closer to his sun and his moon. And what does Saturn do when Saturn is acting like that? It slowly strangles you. It puts one burden on you after another. And unless you're very good, unless you take care of everything and dot all the I's and dot all the T's, you won't get through that time period. Saturn is going to keep Donald Trump from being president. Well, that's what you say astrologically. In actual fact, we just have to look and see what Donald Trump is doing and saying, and we know automatically he's not going to get elected president. But it's that Saturn that's going to be dragging him down. Hello, I'm Bob Marks, and this is Astrology Now. This is the program for people who want to learn about astrology. Well, it's going to be an interesting week, folks. The planet Venus, the planet of love, is going right on top of the planet Pluto. This is interesting because Venus is in Capricorn, a sign that's more laid back. It's a little more defensive. And it's on Pluto, the planet of obsession. So this can intensify relationships. It can not only intensify relationships, it can make people obsessed about somebody, or it could make them totally repelled by them. At the same time, in another day, Venus is going to be 90 degrees away from Uranus, the square aspect. Venus-Uranus is sudden attractions, sudden repulsions. If you have an attraction to somebody in the next few days, don't think that you've met your soulmate. Give it a couple of days. If it still lasts after that, you've got something. But a lot of times, Venus-Uranus means sudden attraction, and it does not last. Be very careful with your relationships now, and with your money. With Venus making that square to Uranus, you'll see something and say, I must have it, it's gorgeous. And then you get it home and you say, what was I thinking? So be very careful with both love and money for the next few days. Now, on the positive side, the Sun and Uranus are making a good aspect. Uranus is everything that's new and different. This is a time to do things that are new and different. That crazy idea you had, pursue it. How about Mercury and Jupiter? They're making a good aspect too, a trine. This is great for communications. Do you have any important communications that you have to take care of? Maybe you've been putting them off. Well, now you can take care of them, especially business communications. Both Mercury and Jupiter are in business signs. Mercury in Capricorn and Jupiter in Virgo. This is a time to take care of any and all business communications. Be a little careful on Sunday, though. That's when the Sun and Mars are going to be 90 degrees apart. That's potentially an argument day, and well, that is Super Bowl Sunday, so watch out for arguments over football. However, Venus on Sunday makes a good aspect with Mars. So if you're having an argument with your spouse about Super Bowl Sunday, don't worry, you could make it up later in the bedroom. So that will be, that could smooth things over. Now there's a new moon coming up. The new moon is in Aquarius, and once again, Aquarius is a sign that wants to be different. A new moon shows things that are starting. But this new moon, 90 degrees away from Mars. That gives you energy, it gives you enthusiasm, but watch out for the arguments, watch out for the fights. You'll want something that, oh, this is great, I've got to do it right now, and you'll get opposition. So make an extra effort to avoid arguments and disputes. And this is the new moon that's going to be in effect for the New Hampshire primary, and also, I believe, for the South Carolina primary. So expect to see the election process heating up too. That's getting more interesting now as all those candidates with small poll numbers are dropping out. Now we're going to see the real battles. Mars, people will be attacking each other more and more. How unusual for politicians during election time. Well, that's about all we have time for today, folks. It's going to be a very interesting week. So until next time, this is Bob Marks for Astrology Now saying, may the stars be with you.
Tell me about the book you wrote, and how can we get a copy of it?
My book is called How to Get More Love, Money, and Success by Traveling on Your Birthday. It's available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And that book gives a lot of case histories about people that I've actually sent traveling and what's happened to them. And basically it tells how to change your birthday and half-birthday horoscopes to find the best spot for you.
And how do they contact you personally to set up a consultation?
My phone number is 212-535-1549. It's 212-535-1549. My website is bobmarksastrologer.com. Now, on my website, I have over 200 pages of free astrology lessons. I got tired of having to explain to people that astrology is more than just 12 sun signs. So if you want to learn astrology, the lessons are free on bobmarksastrologer.com.
And they can look you up on YouTube too, right?
That's right. I'm also on YouTube, Bob Marks Astrologer. I have a program every week, a short program, just between 2 and 4 minutes, and I make forecasts for the week.
And you can save lives.
Yes, and even without saving lives, you can improve them.
And they can buy your book?
Yes, you can buy my book on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. How to Get More Love, Money, and Success by Traveling on Your Birthday.
And I'm going to do that myself right now. And so will everyone else.
Okay.
Diamonds, daisies, snowflakes, that girl, chestnuts, rainbows, springtime. Is that girl? She's tinsel on a tree. She's everything that every girl should be.
Hi, it's Barry Z, also known as That Boy. That Boy.
Also known as Peter Dinklage. I feel so tall.
Oh my God, how come you're so tall tonight?
That boy, that boy. What am I, Ted Bissell?
Yes, I think so.
Or Mabel Albertson.
All of the above.
Okay, I love that show. I don't know about this show, but...
Well, this show is even going to be better than that girl because it's That Boy.
All right, and does Marlo know about this?
Of course, she gave me the seal of approval.
You mean a restraining order?
So what do you think of this new show, That Boy? I get into all kinds of hijinks. Guys.
So desperate. I always thought of you as the new Marlo Thomas, so this is perfect. And
thank you.
I hope you do everything she does. I hope you marry Phil Donahue. And
would love to.
And do a TV show called Free to Be You and Me. And, you are Marlo. Basically, deep down, even your exterior to me reads as Marlo Thomas. You're that cute.
Oh, thank you. Can I kiss you? Ow.
You
Should
can
I
have,
call you?
You can have my baby.
I could. Wow.
You look like you are.
Should I call you Daddy?
Not sugar daddy. You're not getting 88 cents out of me, Rose.
How about my husband?
It's legal.
There we go. Or Ted Bissell.
I love Ted Bissell. He was in a movie called Scream Pretty Peggy with Betty Davis, where he played a cross-dressing transgender person or whatever who was schizo.
That macho guy?
I recommend that. Scream Pretty Peggy.
Wow.
Ted Bissell and Betty Davis, in that order.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he worked with all the greats.
Wow. He's dead, I think.
I have a movie club. No, is he?
Yeah, he's dead. May rest in peace.
I have a movie club where we watch good, bad movies like that. But that girl was always my favorite. They had an episode with Ethel Merman. Do you remember?
Yes, I did.
So that turned me gay.
Yes, I do.
That turned me gay.
What? That turned you gay.
When I watched that. Then when I turned the channel, saw Tarzan with Ron Ely in a little loincloth. Wow. That made me a bottom.
So that day of watching that girl,
yeah, that's how
Ethel Merman
and Ron Ely as Tarzan, that began the Stonewall riot because I was 6 years old, ran to Stonewall, started rioting.
And you came out.
I came out of the house.
And I'm the new that girl. I mean, I'm the new that boy.
You used to be a girl, though.
Who told you?
You're a doctor.
How did you find her name? I mean, his name.
Kevorkian? He's listed.
Yes. So, this is a brand new spoof of the old sitcom, That Girl, starring Marlo Thomas. And it ran for years, didn't it?
Oh, it ran for like 30, 40 years, longer than Roots.
I hear. And
it was all white people.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know if they ever had a black person on That Girl.
I don't think
We're
so.
We're going to have to change that.
Yeah. So do I have to now give up this role and give it to a black person?
No, just have some in the background.
Oh, that would be nice.
You know, that's already an advance from Marlo Thomas.
And what about Puerto Ricans?
Yes, they're people too, and Asians and Indians, Native Americans, Inuits.
Wow.
It's all part of the mosaic. You know, I don't believe in the walls that we're building.
I agree with you.
I think we're a big mosaic, and that's the beauty of New York.
So you're going to be my special guest, husband, or guest host, or what?
I never agreed to any such thing.
Or guest star?
Star sounds like I might get paid.
It seems you're growing these days.
Or you're shrinking.
You're a head taller than me now.
Sharon Tate's head.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so what do you think of this new idea for a new sitcom called That Boy, starring Barry Z. and Michael Musto?
I like the part where you're in it. I'm not certain because I haven't conferred with my agent as to whether this is a good move for me. I'm actually in real television shows.
Like,
so
these days you're all over the tube.
Any. Well, no, I'm on Lego, which is how I pronounce logo.
Lugo or Logo?
Lego.
Lego. Doing a what?
It's
Talking Head show.
It's a movie party show called Cocktails and Classics. So we sit around, we watch old movies, we talk about them. Michael Urie is the host. It's delightful fun. It's the kind of thing I would do anyway, even if they didn't film us.
And who's cock and who's tail?
Well, you can't say Cocktails and Classics without saying cock and tail. That's actually the theme of the show.
I can't wait to see this.
You haven't seen it? It's already on the 3rd season.
Yeah, can I be on it too?
No.
I can screen movies.
It's
I
only
used to at the Cinema Village.
It's no, I'm sorry.
And at Chelsea Cinemas.
Well, you just stay there.
And you were my co-host for the Desperate Living movie.
For I Am Divine, which was a documentary about the late 8,000-pound drag queen Divine. If she was alive, she'd be on the Learning Channel.
What does she have to learn?
No, but that's where they have shows like My 650-Pound Life. You could even be on because they have little people.
You mean from The Wizard of Oz?
They're not alive anymore. Margaret Hamilton's the only one still alive and haunting everybody.
She's still alive?
In my dreams.
Wow. Can I be a munchkin when I grow up?
And I ride my bike and everyone's like, oh, it's Margaret Hamilton. Fuck you.
You are the famous Michael Musto. I can't believe this. From my pilot show, my brand new version of That Girl, which is that guy Barry Z, is now that gossip columnist, Michael Musto.
And this will be extra famous because it's the first and it'll also be the last one.
No, don't say that, please.
But I am that gossip columnist, woman, man. I don't know what.
You'll be that gossip columnist on the Barry Z show, or on that on That Boy's show featuring Barry Z. Right?
You don't even know the name of your own fucking show.
Well, what name should we have it be?
That Boy, you decided, so just stick to it. Yeah, okay. But should we have Cindy Adams and Liz Smith?
Are they still alive?
No, but should we have them?
Have them for what?
Have them as guest stars. I mean, that girl had Ethel Merman. We need Cindy Adams.
You can be the new Ethel Merman.
Joan Rivers is gone. I hope you got the memo. Oh, I loved her.
What'd you do with her jewelry?
Don't you hear me jangling?
Jingle, jangle. No. So, what do you think? The new version of That Girl is That Boy, starring Barry Z, co-hosted by Michael Musto.
I think this cures all the ills of the world. I mean, I'm terrified that Trump could become president. And,
Don't say that, please.
you know, there are always plagues and horrors destroying the planet, but this is going to change everything. That Boy with Barry Z.
Thank you. You know, I tried to shake his hand, Mr. Trump's hand, one time on the receiving line. All deliveries to the rear. No. And
That's what Melania says.
yeah, she does. So what happened is I stuck my hand out to shake his hand, and he said, "Don't you know better?" And I said, "Know what?" He said, "I'm germ-phobic. I don't shake anyone's hands."
He had his hand way up my butt.
He did. Did it hurt?
No, and it's clean. But he has been nice to me because I always attack him. So the one time he ran into me, he said, "Oh, you do very good work, Michael." He was trying to kill me with kindness, but it didn't work.
And he knew your name.
Knew my name. I am one of the glitterati of New York City. Thank you. Sean Puffy Combs once even touched my knee as he walked to a seat in a theater. You don't get bigger than that. Madonna once didn't say hello, which is her way of acknowledging you. I'm big.
How big?
9.5. Soft.
Wow. Unbelievable. You're bigger than Jonah the Whale.
I'm bigger than Marlo Thomas.
Wow, it's amazing. Should I get down and kiss your feet? Or?
You're getting closer.
Okay, good. You mean I'm getting shorter and you're getting taller?
Just say, you don't even have to bend down, Barry. You can suck my dick just where you are.
I'm speechless now.
That's a first.
My mind is full, and so is my mouth now.
Well, you're half right.
Yeah, no. Michael Musto is a mouthful, I hear.
Yes, it's quite substantive.
Yeah. So where can we see you these days?
I'm white.
Are you back to The Voice?
The Voice did call me back. They have a new owner who's great, and they brought back my old editor. So it's good again.
Who's that?
Will Bourne is the editor. Pete Barby's the owner. And I did a cover story in the Oscars. I did a piece on a movie called The Queen, which was revived at Lincoln Center. And so I'm doing pieces for them. It's not a weekly column. I have a weekly column on out.com called Musto the Musical. I have a weekly blog on papermag.com. That's the paper magazine site. I'm really everywhere, Barry, and I'm on Lego, the Lego channel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Let go. No.
And now I'm on That Boy with Barry Z. I mean,
That boy, that boy, that boy.
how do you even remember that theme song? It's got so many different words to it.
Wow, and you're so tall and erect.
You're half right.
Anyway, so listen, where else can we see you and read you and touch you and feel you?
You know, if you go on YouTube, you'll just put Michael Musto. This guy named Nelson Sullivan followed me all through the 80s at every party, and there's all these videos of me and RuPaul and Lady Bunny and all
What about the blow-up doll that Sylvia Miles had a fight with?
She had a blow-up doll of Rod Stewart, I think it was.
No, it was Jerry Springer.
Okay.
Remember she got into a fight with a blow-up doll at Jerry Springer's birthday?
She'll just fight with anything.
Yeah, and it was a Michael Musto party.
Well, she made the headlines.
Wow, is she still alive?
No, but I just invited her to my next party. No, she is. Sylvia's still alive. She's just not going to as many parties as she used to.
Why not?
Either she's not invited or she's taking a rest, or both. I don't know, but
Risk or arrest?
but it's good that she's relaxing for a while instead of going for the buffet, because I like to be the first one at the buffet.
Are you doing those parties anymore? Those Musto parties?
Musto.
Musto.
No, I don't do parties anymore.
Why not?
The nightclubs don't have budgets like they used to. They used to fly in all the big stars for me, like Mrs. Fletcher from Life Call and John Wayne Bobbitt, and they don't have that kind of budget anymore.
Well, is John Wayne Bobbitt still around?
Well, yeah, and it's dangling, and it's ready for another.
Dangalang is still there?
Ready for another chop.
Wow.
I once said chop chop in front of him, and he got very nervous.
What happened to those days?
Oh, they were magical. People chopping each other's penises.
I know. The good old days. And spitting it out afterwards into some rainforest.
And some dog took it. It was like a John Waters movie.
Yeah, it was on the Bell Parkway that she spit it out.
Is that it? I went looking, but couldn't.
find it?
No, but I found some other ones.
God. So you're in movies too. Tell me about the movies, because I want to take you home tonight and say, that man, Michael Musto, is on the TV screen that way.
I Am Divine, Resident Alien, The Tense. The lady in question is Charles Bush, Florent, Queen of the Meat Market, Grey Gardens from stage to music, from Hamptons to musical, something about Paris Hilton.
Garbo Talks, no?
Garbo Talks, that's not a documentary, but yeah, I'm in that. I'm in Slaves of New York, Dawn of the Dead,
Resident Alien?
Resident Alien, a documentary about Quentin Crisp. Remember him?
Yeah.
May he
May he rest in peace.
I
Did
got
you
his
play?
jewels. I got his jewels.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind?
I fought with Penny Arcade over them. Cracker Jack.
Oh, really? From the Cracker Jack box. Huh?
They're nice though.
So wait a minute. So what else do we miss in terms of movies?
Oh, movies. I'm in one coming out about Alan Carr. He was the producer in the 70s. It's by the same guy, Jeffrey Schwartz, who did the Divine movie. And he also did the Tab Hunter movie. And it's about Alan Carr.
That guy, Michael Musto, plays Alan Carr.
I don't wear caftans.
So what role do you play?
Rosie Clooney. And then, irony of ironies, they're like, she wears caftans, so
God, wow.
I screwed myself.
How do we reach you?
Oh, please don't.
No, come on. How do we call you, contact you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Michael Musto. I'm over the friend limit, so you can go to my fan page. And then I'm on Twitter, at Mikey Musto.
Oh, Mikey. Where did Mikey come from?
Well, Michael Musto was taken. You have to take whatever they get. And are you on Twitter? You don't even know what that is.
No, I think I know.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
You're still on MySpace, probably.
I'm on somebody's face.
I'm on somebody's face.
By the way, can they masturbate if they want to ring up Michael Musto?
If you're really twisted, if you're very lonely,
Why? A macho-looking man like you?
macho-looking woman like me.
No, the dream of every man, gay man, to go to bed with you?
People are always dressing me with their eyes.
Dressing you, not undressing.
Get it?
Wow.
But I have character, and some people find that sexy.
Wow. Do you know who this is? This is Michael
Don't
Musto.
embarrass me. Don't
No, we don't.
You know him, huh?
We're from Denmark. We don't know him.
Oh, okay.
You want to know him?
No, they don't want to know.
They're from Denmark. What do they know?
I'd love to have a Danish right now.
Really? A cheese Danish?
I'm the Danish girl.
You like cheese?
I like the little yellow sundress. I want to rip it off her.
I love cheese.
I noticed at the last cheese party we went to. At the
How did you know?
Mineshaft. The Mine Shaft. That was a while ago.
Well, I tried to seize the cheese.
You are the cheese.
Thank you.
The cheese stands alone.
What kind of cheese? Munster?
I like pepper jack
Really? Is it fattening?
or Velveeta, which is totally processed. It's not even cheese. It's not even. If you're lactose intolerant, you don't have to worry about eating Velveeta because it's made out of like Formica or something, or rubber.
So where can we see you next on Broadway? Where you belong?
Oh, on Broadway, I'll be seeing a Broadway show soon.
Which one?
What's the next one? I just saw the Cirque du Soleil, Paramore.
How was that?
It's fantastic staging, great visuals. It's their first scripted musical, but the script is horrible. It's a cliche. Well, the tourists don't read, reviews. Let's face it. The tourists don't go like, oh, the critics didn't like it. They don't care.
So what do you call it?
Call what?
Circus de Galo say?
Cirque du Soleil.
Circus O'Gay. I see. Now,
Here's the hearse for you, Barry.
you know Michael Musto, the famous celebrity
Oh, if you're
columnist?
gonna humiliate me. I'm just.
No, wait a minute. They know you.
They're running the streets. They're getting a restraining order.
No, they're saying they
There's
want.
a hearse for you here.
No, they said. No. They said right now while they walk by, that boy. Is that boy, Michael Musto?
They met you. You're that boy. Don't you remember? You're the new Marlowe.
I'm not that girl.
And
Right?
people go, Marlowe who? And you just say, well, whatever.
Why is it called Marlowe? Why is she called Marlowe?
Because that's what her parents named her.
I see. Danny Thomas.
Danny Thomas was the father. He was a lesbian, Lebanese.
Lebanese, right.
And Marlowe's a lesbian, a Lebanese.
And so is Ellen.
And then you had Marla Maples, who's not the same person.
Wow. So when I saw Donald Trump and tried to shake his hand, he told me, am I crazy? Don't I get it? Don't I do research? Because he's homophobic. I mean, he's,
Germophobic.
germophobic. He
Are you
said,
German?
Jewish, not German.
Oh, well, there are German Jews. Not that many left.
Is
But
that why he's German-phobic? Or, I mean, Jewish-phobic?
he probably played around with Michael Jackson and played Tiddlywinks.
See, he wouldn't shake my hand because he said he's germphobic. Don't I know better? No, I didn't know better. I have nothing better to do than investigate the life of Donald Trump, right? But that toupee should have gone to the dry cleaners.
It's not a toupee. That's the scary thing. It's one hair, literally just in circles.
Spiraled.
Sprayed orange and made in concentric circles.
Wow.
If it was a toupee, I would have more compassion.
So are you going to vote for my girl Hillary, please?
If she gets the nomination, I guess we're stuck with her, but she's better than Trump.
Right. She's that girl. I mean, she's the real that girl.
I mean, she's not a great candidate, but she's better than Trump. And that's what her slogan should be. I'm better than Trump.
Right. So we love Hillary. Hillary, we're behind you 100%, just like Bill is.
Hillary Dillery Doc.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't Bill behind her?
Monica ran up your husband's cock.
Oh, say that again, please.
Hillary Dillery Doc. Monica ran up your husband's cock. But meanwhile, if the Trump is going to use the Monica thing against Hillary, but Hillary was the victim of that. Can we remember?
Oh, yes, I remember.
Why should she be faulted for that? Trump has done similar things himself with, remember Marla Maples?
Oh, my God. But I loved Marla.
Best sex I ever had. Best sex I ever had.
Marla Maples was the best sex he ever had.
That's what she said about him.
But wait a minute.
Because he probably shoved money up her twat.
Yeah, but she's germophobic, too, no? And he's germophobic.
No, she's not biased.
You guys want to say hello to Michael Musto, the king of gossip?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're fine. Hello. Thank you so
really
much.
are the king.
The queen.
Can you do both at the same time? Can you be bisexual?
I'm bigender, and I'm bipolar, and I'm bi-coastal.
And I'm bisexual. If you buy me something, I'll be sexual.
I ain't buying you nothing.
Not even some Cracker Jacks.
You'll just have to have sex with me for no
So
reason.
you want to come over here and meet the Michael Musto?
All right, we're going to wrap it up now because I'm tired of being humiliated.
So I love you, and this is our premiere episode of That Boy.
Marla, Barry.
Mwah.
Break a leg, baby. Break both of them. Break
You'll
an
be on
nail.
every show.
Breaking it. Yeah, and hell's yeah.
And how can we ring you up?
When hell freezes over. I'll call you on the 12th.
No, how can we ring you up if our viewers want to catch you and see you? Touch you.
Just go online and look on YouTube. What do you call it?
YouTube?
MySpace. No, Facebook. Facebook.
You know, Barry Z is now on Ustream, YouTube, Vimeo, Time Warner Cable, Verizon Fios, etc.
So 5 viewers divided by 5 venues.
Wow. And we got 250,000 hits on YouTube not too long ago for the Michael Musto interview I did.
You sat there that many times going like this? Or did you hire a monkey?
No, I let my fingers do the walking.
Okay.
Touching. All right.
And what did the other hand do?
So listen, do you want to meet Michael? No.
Bye.
No, we love you.
Hi, I'm Michael Musto, and you're watching That Boy with Barry Z.